For more than 100 years, the United States ranked #1 as the world's largest producer of manufactured goods. Today, the United States is responsible for 73% of the world's technology, no doubt due to the determination, passion, and heart of these individuals we refer to as Ruckus Makers.
Welcome to American Ruckus. America, I've been in the building and design business for 20 years. Along the way, you really meet some interesting characters. The gentleman that we're going to go see right now, his name's Jeff from FoamTec. They create the amazing foam beams that you see in the residential homes that imitate wood. I've been buying from this character for about 3 to 4 years now, and talking to him over the phone, meeting him a few different times. He's a young gentleman. He believes in what he's doing for this country and employing Americans and building an all-American made product. And I'll tell you what, honestly, in my eyes, he is truly a ruckus maker. Let's go meet this guy.
Hey Chris.
Yeah,
what's going on, man?
Buddy?
How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah,
I
haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So we're here at your plant. So what
Yes.
actually really do you do here?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me show you. Come on in.
I can't wait. Thank you. Appreciate it. Wow, look at this incredible shop.
Yep, this is our factory. Let me kind of walk you over to the starting steps of what we do. So this is one of many patterns, and this
What would
is
you call this pattern?
This is called the axe texture.
Now, being an axe pattern, actually looks like you take an axe to this?
I did. I took a piece of just regular lumber, and I chopped it. I burned it.
This is incredible.
Right, and this took me a long time to do, but I mastered it, and it came out to being a really nice texture.
I see these corbels over here. Can I
Yes,
take a look at that?
yeah, absolutely. So what you're seeing here, and behind us all here, is these are just different patterns of different corbels that we do, and these are going to be going under eave lines. This is a finished product, so it's going to come primed for you, and you can either stain it or paint it, and you can go interior or exterior with the piece as well.
Incredible. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
You've got thousands
Yeah,
and thousands of molds.
Yeah, we have a ton of molds, it's abundance of molds, just different patterns.
Absolutely amazing. Okay, I want to see the next process.
Okay,
I can't wait.
right from here, we move into our molding department.
So I understand, okay. Well, walk me through this because this is exciting. This is actually a silicone product?
Yeah, this is a silicone product. What I showed you before was the master.
Okay.
And
The real piece of wood,
that's
that
the
was
real
over
piece
there.
of wood. That's
Okay.
the template. That's the original piece. That piece stays good forever.
All right.
What I do with that is I go ahead and pour the silicone rubber on top of that to create that impression.
Incredible.
So from here, we can show you the next step and show you the process of
right.
pouring it, which will be over here.
Please, excited. So help me understand now, we're to the mixing process.
So what he's doing now, these are my two mold pours, and what he's doing now is he's mixing the two chemicals together, and we're mixing them into 2 buckets because of the length of our molds. That's what it's going to take
right.
for us to pour. So he's getting it ready. He's got the material on a scale, so he's measuring out the first side, then he's measuring out the second side based on weight on what the actual mold he's pouring
itself.
takes.
Okay.
And you know, every mold takes a different amount. So what they're going to do here is they're going to go ahead and mix, and you can start to see the material is going to turn into a solid color, and that's what we want. Is we want to make sure it's mixed thoroughly through.
So you don't see the two colors,
Right,
actually, it's
right.
just one solid
yeah,
color?
and because we do it a traditional way with the drills, it's really highly skilled on what they do. I can't just pull somebody off the street and tell them to mix material and go. So what they're going to do now is they're going to go ahead and pour the material, and they're going to start in the middle, and they're each going to go ahead and pour a half.
So one direction?
Yeah, and they're going to start pouring in the middle, and then they're just going to try and fill the voids as best as they can. It doesn't need to be perfect because the material will start to spread.
Because it's an expansion product.
Right, it's an
so
expansion
it
product.
expands.
So as you can see, it starts to kind of fill in the molds, and
Yeah,
you can
really
see
see.
Again, now it's changing colors. Now it's actually doing its thing, and it's reacting. And you can
that's
feel,
what you see, all the
yeah,
bubbles.
and it gets a little
Oh,
hot.
boy, you can
you know,
really
it
feel the
definitely feels warm.
You can feel the warmth,
And
yeah.
so what they'll do once that, you can see there's some voids there. We don't need to worry about those at all.
Because that's going to fill.
They'll go ahead and put the lids on there. This particular mold is done with C-clamps.
Now, do you create these products as people order them? Do you keep stocked beams inside?
Everything, we're a made-to-order company. So
You're made to order.
yeah, and that was because
So
we're
you
on
don't
the
have a lot
custom
of
side.
inventory just sitting there?
No, we don't.
Okay.
We make everything as it comes in,
As it comes
and
in.
that way we work with the clients from start to finish. So
Right.
they can come in and tell me exactly what they need.
And much like our experience together.
Exactly, right. This will sit for 20-25 minutes, and then it will
And
be
that's
ready
it?
to demold, move to the next station, and then they'll go ahead and just do another one.
That's
And
incredible.
all day long.
Incredible.
So as we're coming over here, we're gonna go ahead and demold the piece, and this is a cured piece after about 20-25 minutes.
Okay.
So they're gonna go ahead and declamp everything.
What if you went to 45 minutes?
You can go longer, and that's not a problem.
Okay.
Going too short, then you
Okay.
miss the curing process.
Okay.
He'll go ahead and pull that piece off and flip it over. He'll come over here and he'll go ahead and pull this piece off.
Okay.
And that comes off. So there's your cured piece. So what you saw earlier was the face of it. This is the back. So as he peels this off, you're gonna go ahead and see the
It's still
impression.
warm.
Very warm, yep.
Look at that. How many times can you reuse these molds?
We're running these molds about 100, 120 times before we have to retool them and start over. And if we flip this over, you'll be able to see the
Oh, my
impression
goodness,
that
look at
it
that.
made to
That is
a
the
ceiling
real
beam.
deal.
Now that we've done with the demolding process,
Right.
it moves into our next stage, which is gonna be the fabrication. This is-
fabrication.
so I can show you that process next.
Okay, great.
So we've done the molding process, we've
All
done
right.
the planing, we've done the cutting. Now is where everything starts to come together. So what we do here is he's gonna go ahead and glue the mitered edges. But what we do is we glue a beam, we put it together, we let it sit overnight.
Overnight. Okay.
And
so
then
you're
that
letting
way
it
the-
cure for 24
Right,
hours.
because if you start moving the things around, you take a chance of separating the bonding of the glue.
Okay.
So once he go ahead and glues it, he'll screw it, we'll set it down, and it will start to cure. So yeah, once he's done with that, then he would go ahead and put the third side on, and then it will move into the next stage of production, which I
Okay.
can take you over and show you that as well.
Which goes to finish it now.
It goes to the finished product, that's correct.
All right, let's go, boys. Let's do the next step. Coming up next on American Ruckus.
You're now coming to where I like to say all the magic happens.
You truly, in my eyes, have always been a ruckus maker since I met you.
This is hard.
It's okay. The ever-growing lack of the USA's ability to manufacture many products is strategically unsound. When you seek out American-made goods, you are fostering our much-needed American independence. If every American spent $3.33 on American products once a year, it would create 10,000 new jobs. Okay, so now we're going to the finishing stage.
Yep. So
All right.
yeah, we've seen the beams built. We're now coming to where I like to say all the magic happens. So this is my finisher, Dan, and what he's doing now is he's going ahead and putting a walnut finish on the beams. Your choices are getting it unfinished, which you're seeing here in the tan primer.
Right, which
or,
is actually what you've delivered to me.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Or we offer a couple different finishes, or we can do some high-end finishes, whatever the client wants. So he's gonna go ahead and apply this on here. And again, this is another hand-applied product.
While he's doing this, I want to ask you a question as far as what is the longevity of the actual beam? I mean, if you have an exterior application, you have stucco on there or imperial plaster or whatnot. What is the longevity? I mean, is it forever for the home?
Yeah, it's designed to stand the test of time. As long as it's up there, you know, there's virtually no maintenance. So once you put it up, you may have to, the paint may fade, the sun might fade the paint. But as far as it actually harming the piece of material, that's not going to happen. It's designed for interior and for
Interior
exterior.
finish, obviously, that's going to last a whole lot longer.
Right, exactly.
So now, with a finish up, Dan, you're doing a heck of a job. These go in the drying rack for 24 hours.
Right.
Then they go to
Yeah, once they
shipping.
dry and the paint cures, we'll go ahead and package it and get ready for shipping and send it off to the clients, be that in America, be that globally, or wherever the end user is needed.
America. This gentleman has an amazing story about triumphant success in the worst and heartbreaking conditions. And I really would like to just go sit down with you and talk about that.
Okay.
Are you comfortable with that?
Absolutely.
We can tell your story?
Sure.
That's what I'm excited to talk about, so
All
let's
right.
go.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go into my office.
All right, buddy. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you sharing this with us today.
Sure.
You truly, in my eyes, have always been a ruckus maker since I met you. And, you know, part of that story, one of the things that have compelled me so much and was so intrigued about your story is how you began your story. And I'd like you to share with us and America what that transition was, where you began, and how'd you get where you are today.
Well, let me take you back to the very beginning. 7 years ago, I was working for a company, and they decided to lay me off. And the day I got laid off, I went home and talked to my wife. And I said, what do you want to do? She said, what do you want to do, Jeff? I said, I want to go on my own. So I went out on my own. Didn't think twice about it, didn't sit and pout. I figured out what I needed to do to get things going. I didn't have any customers.
I had a dream, a vision, and I went for it. And at the same time, my wife and I had just gotten married, and we found out that we were having a baby. As the business was building, sorry, she was battling drug and alcohol addiction. This is hard.
It's okay.
It's been a really long time since I talked about this. Gosh.
It's okay, my friend.
3 years ago, the day after Christmas, we lost her. She couldn't hold on any longer, you know, and I'm trying to run this business, take care of her, and it became too difficult. And she overdosed. You know, I was left with a 3-year-old and an 18-month-old to raise on my own. And I just told myself, I'm not gonna pout, I'm not gonna whine. I'm gonna continue living the dream that my wife and I had to be our own bosses and run a company and make it work. You know, a lot of people may choose to give up and they may choose to not fight.
To throw in the towel and just...
Yeah. Well, I chose to fight. And the fight is paying off. More people can do it and more people can live the American dream.
You've come so far with such a superior product. You give inspiration to so many people.
Thanks.
I'm beyond words of what I got to experience with you two here today. Your story is amazing. You've shared everything in your life here with us today, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am a raving fan. I am a customer for life.
Good.
And I appreciate
Well,
you.
we appreciate your business. Thank you
my
very
friend.
much. Yeah, thank you.
America, this man is a true ruckus maker.